Hello, everyone, and welcome back to season 4 of the Love Doesn't Hurt podcast. My name is Ashley Leonard, and Love Doesn't Hurt provides domestic violence education, empowers survivors, advocates for healthy relationships, and promotes a resilient lifestyle. During season 4, I am uploading episodes every other Sunday at 6 a.m. EST, or Eastern Standard Time. Today, we will be talking about the intersection of pets and domestic violence. I just got my own puppy. He's a Bichon Frise named Otto, so I'll insert a picture of him here, if you're watching on YouTube. And he is the best. I really can't imagine life without him, even if he has been the reason for the delay in episodes. He really is like having a small child. But when survivors are leaving a domestically violent situation, pets can often be overlooked. So today we're going to get into information all about our furry friends. Before we dive in, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe or follow on whatever streaming platform you're using. The Love Doesn't Hurt podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, which on YouTube we're now doing visual and not just audio, so check that out so we can reach you wherever you prefer to listen. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Love Doesn't Hurt podcast. I really appreciate your support. Now, let's get started. So, let's start out with a few statistics to really understand why pets are important to consider in domestic violence situations. According to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 97% of survivors said that keeping their pets with them is an important factor in deciding whether to seek shelter. According to the ASPCA, up to 89% of women entering domestic violence shelters reported that their abusive partner had harmed or threatened to harm their pets. So it's clear from the statistics that pets are in danger in domestically violent situations, as well as their owners, and that survivors take their pets into great consideration before leaving. This is so true that one study found that over 25% of survivors delayed leaving their situation for a median of 2 years to avoid leaving their pets behind. Concern over pet safety often delays domestic violence victims from seeking help, causes them to return to their abuser, or prevents them from seeking assistance entirely. So, why are people so worried about leaving their pets? Abusers may harm pets as a way to harm victims. It's often a method of revenge, control, or coercion. It's also a concern because most domestic violence shelters don't allow pets. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, only 12% of domestic violence programs can provide shelter for pets, and less than a quarter of programs provide referral services to animal welfare programs. According to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 91% of survivors also believe that their pet's emotional support and physical protection play a significant role in their ability to survive and heal. So, what can people do if they want to leave a domestically violent relationship, but they have a pet? First, consider these tips. Check into your local domestic violence shelter and see if they allow pets or if they have a safe haven foster care program. These are the best ways to know that your pet will be well taken care of. If it's not possible to take your pet with you to a shelter, try to arrange temporary shelter for your animals with a vet, trusted friend or family member, or a local animal shelter. This is another great way to ensure your pet is taken care of while you seek shelter and get back on your feet independently. If you simply can't take your pet with you, call law enforcement when going to retrieve them. It's never safe to reclaim an animal alone. If you're considering leaving your pet behind when seeking shelter, make sure your name is on the rabies vaccinations and licensing of your pet. This helps to prove ownership. It's also important to have all your pet's documents in one area for quick removal if you must leave your situation in a hurry. Before leaving, you may also want to search the Animal Welfare Institute's database of programs that are safe havens for pets of survivors. You put in your zip code and it finds the programs that are closest to you. I'll link this in the description of this episode so you can check it out. You can also check out and apply for the many resources that Red Rover offers. Their Safe Escape grants pay for pet boarding to help families with pets safely escape domestic violence together. So, how can you help support survivors and their pets safely escape domestic violence? There are many ways. If you would like to volunteer time, you can apply to be a safe haven foster home for pets of survivors that can't bring their furry friends into a shelter. You can also support the Purple Leash project that Red Rover and Purina have collaborated to form. This movement aims to increase the number of pet friendly domestic violence shelters nationwide. You can become an advocate for this program by sharing their information. If you would like to contribute financially, you can support Red Rover's Safe Escape grants, safe housing grants that help domestic violence and animal organizations build pet programs that work for survivors in their communities, the Purple Leash Project, that provides funding and resources to domestic violence shelters who wish to house both survivors and pets, and don't forget the Pets Movement, that provides training for domestic violence, homeless, and animal shelters to learn how to create and sustain pet housing programs. Thank you all so much for tuning into season 4 of the Love Doesn't Hurt podcast. I'm excited to continue providing others with domestic violence education as I work to end the cycle of violence once and for all. It is my goal with the Love Doesn't Hurt podcast to create a community of survivors and a greater community that is more knowledgeable about domestic violence so we can not only help those who have experienced it survive, but thrive. Love Doesn't Hurt aims to be another resource people can use to understand their experiences, get help, and know they're not alone. If you need immediate help, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 or text START in all capital letters to 88788. You can also visit their website, thehotline.org, for more information. Please be sure to subscribe and follow Love Doesn't Hurt for more domestic violence education content. This really helps support the podcast and get this information to the people who may need it. Thank you all for listening to the Love Doesn't Hurt podcast. I hope you all have a great day, and remember, spread love everywhere you go.